The ocean is a vast and mysterious place hiding secrets that have remained undiscovered for centuries, but thanks to cutting-edge technology, we're now able to explore its depths like never before. In this video, we'll take a look at some truly terrifying footage captured by an underwater drone, images so shocking that they defy explanation. Let's get into it. City of Dwarka. Dwarka, a city in Gujarat, India, holds great historical and mythological significance, especially in Hindu traditions as the legendary kingdom of Lord Krishna. According to myths, Dwarka was a powerful kingdom said to have been submerged under the sea, with some legends attributing it to divine intervention or natural causes. Searches for the lost city began in the early 20th century, with major discoveries in the 1980s. Marine archaeologist S.R. Rao and his team found ruins off Gujarat's coast, identifying them as the lost city of Dwarka. Excavations revealed a well-planned city with stone, brick, and wooden structures dating back to around 3000 BCE. Artifacts like pottery, beads, jewelry, and coins suggest a rich culture and advanced society. Dwarka's location aligns with ancient texts, and one theory suggests it was built on reclaimed land about 3,500 years ago before being submerged due to rising sea levels. Studies show sea levels in the region have changed over time. Divers also discovered a large man-made wall about 1,800 feet, 550 meters, long during low tide, supporting the idea of an ancient settlement beneath the sea. Research continues to uncover more about this fascinating lost city. An ancient underwater settlement. Underwater excavations off Israel's Carmel coast have uncovered a Stone Age village that thrived during a climate crisis around 6,200 BC. This challenges the idea that sudden climate shifts forced people to abandon coastal settlements. The discovery offers insights into how ancient communities adapted to environmental changes. The village, called Habanim North, was first identified in the mid-2010s, but early surveys found little evidence of habitation. During the period of pandemic restrictions, deeper excavations revealed important finds. Researchers from the University of Haifa and the University of California, San Diego used sediment dredging, sampling, photogrammetry, and 3D modeling to study the site. Artifacts include pottery shards, stone tools, ceremonial weapons, fishing net weights, and remains of plants and animals. Scientists found bones of wild and domesticated animals, charred seeds, and fossils of wheat and lentils. The presence of basalt tools and a ceremonial mace head suggests the village was engaged in maritime trade. Other underwater discoveries provide further insights into ancient life. Near Haifa, a submerged village contained a water well, possibly the oldest wooden structure ever found. In the UK, an 8,000-year-old site revealed early boat building and the oldest known piece of string. These finds show how ancient civilizations adapted to changing environments. Corryvreckan Maelstrom. The Corryvreckan Maelstrom, also called Scotland's Maelstrom, is a powerful whirlpool in the narrow strait between Jura and Scarba off Scotland's west coast. Its Gaelic name, Coire means cauldron of the speckled seas. This whirlpool forms when strong Atlantic tides rush through the Sound of Jura, hitting two major underwater obstacles, a 719-foot-deep, 219-meter hole, and a pyramid-shaped basalt pinnacle. As the water squeezes through, it creates whirlpools, standing waves, and swirling currents. At its peak, the maelstrom can reach 300 feet, 91 meters wide, and 100 feet, 30 meters deep, with waves over 30 feet, 9 meters high. The roaring sound can be heard 10 miles, 16 kilometers away. While not officially deemed unnavigable, the nearby grey dogs are classified as such. The UK's West Coast of Scotland pilot warns that vessels should not enter without local knowledge. Divers consider it dangerous, and an experiment with a mannequin showed it being dragged to 860 feet, 262 meters. Despite the risks, Corryvreckan is a popular tourist spot. Boat trips and sightseeing flights offer views of its ever-changing, dramatic waters. A local legend tells of a Norwegian prince who perished in the whirlpool while trying to win a princess's hand. Locomotive Graveyard. Off the coast of Long Branch, New Jersey, lies a mysterious underwater train graveyard featuring two locomotives from the 1850s, discovered in 1985 by Captain Paul Hepler. While mapping the ocean bottom with a magnetometer, These rare Planet-class 222T steam engines rest in 90 feet of water. Weighing about 15 tons each, these locomotives were small but powerful, though quickly rendered obsolete by larger 3-ton models. Artifacts such as whistles and ornate bronze bells were recovered, one inscribed with H.N. Hooper, Boston, No. 3. The New Jersey Museum of Transportation's Sunken Locomotives project continues to study the wrecks. The reason for their watery fate remains unknown, as no historical records document their loss. Experts theorize they were en route from Boston to the mid-Atlantic on a barge when a storm struck, either washing them overboard or forcing the crew to jettison them to save the ship. Today, the locomotives lie slightly askew on a stark ocean floor, encrusted with marine growth. The wooden engineers' cabins have long decayed, and the cowcatchers are bent from impact. Though visibility is often poor and currents strong, the site remains remarkably well preserved, offering a rare glimpse into 19th century rail history beneath the sea. Thistlegorm. The SS Thistlegorm, a British merchant navy ship, lies beneath the Red Sea and is one of the world's most iconic wreck dives. Built in 1940 by Joseph Thompson and Sons in Sunderland, England, the 128-meter vessel was armed and tasked with transporting war supplies to British forces in North Africa. In June 1941, the Thistlegorm set sail from Glasgow, carrying military vehicles, ammunition, rifles, aircraft parts, and even 2 steam locomotives. To avoid German U-boats in the Mediterranean, it took a 12,000-mile detour around Africa before anchoring at Sha'ab Ali near the Sinai Peninsula. On October 6, 1941, German bombers mistakenly targeted the Thistlegorm, striking Hold 4 and triggering a massive explosion that sank the ship within 10 minutes, claiming 9 lives. The wreck remained undiscovered until Jacques Cousteau located it in the 1950s, documenting his findings in The Living Sea and The Silent World. However, the site remained largely unexplored until the 1990s, when the rise of scuba tourism in Sharm el-Sheikh brought it to global attention. Today, the Thistlegorm is a world-renowned dive site, offering a haunting yet fascinating glimpse into World War II history, with its cargo still visible in the ship's holds. Never-before-seen sea anemones and upside-down swimming fish. In December 2010, scientists working with the Antarctic Geological Drilling (ANDRIL) program made a surprising discovery under the Ross Ice Shelf in Antarctica. They found a new species of sea anemone, later named Edwardsiella andrilli, living in the ice. Unlike most sea anemones that live on the ocean floor, these ones hang upside down from the ice. The discovery happened when researchers sent a robot with a camera called SENI, submersible capable of under-ice navigation and imaging, through a hole in the thick ice to study ocean currents. The camera revealed thousands of tiny sea anemones with their tentacles reaching into the cold water. When contracted, each anemone is less than an inch long, but when stretched out, it can grow up to 3 or 4 times that size. They have 20 to 24 tentacles arranged in 2 rings, an inner ring with 8 longer tentacles, and an outer ring with 12 to 16 shorter ones. The researchers also saw other strange sea creatures, including fish that swam upside down, treating the ice shelf as their ocean floor. They spotted polychaete worms, amphipods, and an unusual creature they nicknamed the egg roll, a 4-inch-long tube-shaped animal with moving appendages at both ends. It was seen bumping into the anemones and sometimes clinging to them. This discovery shows that life can thrive in even the most unexpected places, proving that there is still much to explore in the natural world. Halitriphis jelly. The Halitriphis masi, or firework jellyfish, is a rare deep-sea jellyfish from the Halicreatidae family. It gets its name from its stunning appearance, which looks like fireworks when light shines on it. This jellyfish lives in deep waters, usually between 4,000 and 5,000 feet, 1,200 to 1,500 meters, below the surface. It has been spotted near the Revillagigedo archipelago off Baja California and in oceans around the world, including the Atlantic, Indo-Pacific, Antarctic, Mediterranean, and Eastern Pacific. It was first discovered in 1909. The firework effect comes from light reflecting off its radial canals, thin tubes that move nutrients through its body. However, the jellyfish does not glow on its own. The dazzling display is only visible when an external light source, like a remotely operated vehicle, ROV, shines on it. This jellyfish can grow up to 10 centimeters in length and, like other cnidarians, has a simple body with one opening serving as both mouth and anus. Much of what we know about Halitrephes masi comes from the exploration vehicle, EV Nautilus, operated by the Ocean Exploration Trust. In 2017, while searching for crab samples, the Nautilus team captured breathtaking footage of the jellyfish's firework-like display. Their advanced equipment, including ROVs and real-time satellite imaging, continues to provide new insights into deep-sea life. Giant hydrothermal vent. Scientists aboard the Falkor 2 research vessel recently discovered a new hydrothermal vent field off the western Galapagos Islands. The site, about the size of a soccer field, has 5 geyser-like chimneys and 3 hot springs, with water temperatures reaching 550 degrees Fahrenheit. The expedition, led by American and Ecuadorian researchers, aimed to explore hydrothermal vents on the western Galapagos Spreading Center. The team first spotted a squat lobster, also called a galathid crab. As they saw more crabs, they traced them to the vent field, where giant tube worms were thriving. Ecuadorian observers Ricardo Viceira Coronel and Denise Maldonado named it Sendero del Cangrejo, meaning Trail of the Crabs. Scientists first found hydrothermal vents east of the Galapagos in 1977. This discovery provides insight into underexplored western vents, which differ from their eastern counterparts. The western vents eject metal-rich fluids at high speed, reaching 750 degrees Fahrenheit, while the eastern vents release milder, calcium-rich plumes at 36 to 73 degrees Fahrenheit. These vents host diverse ecosystems powered by chemosynthetic bacteria, which convert chemicals into energy instead of using sunlight. The expedition also discovered another high-temperature vent field, Tortugas, with towering 50-foot chimneys. Researchers identified 15 new species, including a living fossil mollusk and a Pacific white ray nursery. These findings expand our understanding of deep-sea life and hydrothermal ecosystems. Great Blue Hole. The Great Blue Hole is a giant underwater sinkhole off the coast of Belize, famous for its deep blue color and world-class diving. Located near the center of Lighthouse Reef Atoll, it sits about 60 miles from Belize City. This circular marine sinkhole is over 984 feet wide and 410 feet deep. It formed during the last ice age when a limestone cave system flooded and collapsed as sea levels rose. Research suggests it developed in stages around 153,000 years, 66,000 years, 60,000 years, and 15,000 years ago. Inside, divers can find stalactites, dripstone sheets, and rock columns, revealing their ancient origins. The Great Blue Hole is home to sharks like Caribbean reef sharks, nurse sharks, hammerheads, bull sharks, and blacktip sharks. Its crystal-clear waters allow divers to explore striking cave formations and marine life. Divers first descend to a sandy limestone shelf at 40 feet before dropping into the depths, using the limestone wall as a guide. In 1971, legendary ocean explorer Jacques Cousteau visited the site with his submarine Nautilus and confirmed its cave origins. He later named it one of the world's top 10 scuba diving spots. Due to its depth, divers must carefully plan their ascent to avoid decompression sickness. Ghost Fleet of Truk Lagoon. The Ghost Fleet of Truk Lagoon, now called Chuk Lagoon, is an underwater museum in the Federated States of Micronesia. Located about 1,100 miles northeast of Papua New Guinea, it is one of the world's best wreck diving sites. During World War II, Truk Lagoon was a key naval base for the Imperial Japanese Navy, known as the Gibraltar of the Pacific. Its coral reefs and deep waters made it a natural fortress. In February 1944, the Allies launched Operation Hailstone, a massive attack that sank over 60 ships and destroyed around 250 aircraft. These wrecks remain on the lagoon floor, frozen in time. Over the years, coral and marine life have covered the wrecks, turning them into eerie yet beautiful dive sites. Divers can explore torpedo holes, engine rooms, and cargo holds filled with wartime machinery, weapons, and even human remains, a haunting reminder of history. The wrecks sit at depths ranging from the surface to over 200 feet, making them accessible to divers of different skill levels. Alongside history, divers encounter turtles, sharks, and manta rays. However, wreck diving here comes with risks, including sharp edges, tangled cables, and leaking oil. While Japan has recovered many bodies for burial, the site remains a powerful tribute to the past. Purple blob. During a mapping expedition near California's Channel Islands, researchers aboard the Nautilus discovered a mysterious purple orb on the ocean floor. This bright purple sphere, about 2 inches wide, was found in Arguello Canyon at a depth of 5,301 feet. At first, scientists were puzzled by the purple blob. They speculated it might be an egg sac, embryo, or sea squirt. Using a remote-controlled suction tube, they collected the orb and saw it unfold into 2 lobes. This led them to suspect it was a nudibranch, a soft-bodied marine mollusk, or its close relative, a pluribranch. Pluribranchs have ear-like structures called rhinophores and a gill under their mantle. However, no known deep-sea pluribranch in California is purple, making this a possible new discovery. Samples were sent to the Harvard Museum of Comparative Zoology for further study. Marine scientist Jeff Goddard suggested other possibilities, including a fibrous sponge or a predatory sea squirt. He also found it unlikely to be an egg mass, as it contained only 1 large embryo. Scientists warned that confirming a new species could take years. Antikythera mechanism. The Antikythera mechanism was discovered in 1901 by sponge divers exploring a Roman-era shipwreck near the Greek island of Antikythera. Among the artifacts, they found a corroded piece of metal, later identified as an ancient analog computer. The device had been underwater for about 2,100 years, and only 82 fragments, about a third of its original size, were recovered. Built between 150 and 100 BC, the Antikythera mechanism was used to predict astronomical positions and eclipses. Researchers believe its start date was December 22, 178 BC. The device contained at least 35 bronze gears, 19 shafts, and 7 pointers, making it incredibly advanced for its time. X-ray scans revealed Greek inscriptions that described its functions, including a model of the cosmos. The sun was represented by a pointer, and planets were marked with rings and beads. The inscriptions mentioned locations such as Dodona and Alexandria, suggesting the machine was used in multiple places. It also tracked the timing of events like the Olympic Games. A team from University College London, UCL, recreated the mechanism using 3D imaging, offering new insights into its design and operation. Turtle Tomb. Turtle Tomb, also called Turtle Cave, is a famous dive site off Sipadan Island, Malaysia. It features an underwater limestone cave filled with sea turtle skeletons. The site is near the drop-off, another popular diving spot. The cave system has multiple chambers and tunnels, forming a maze. The entrance, about 50 to 65 feet wide, begins at a depth of 45 feet. Divers descend into a bell-shaped tunnel that leads to a deeper chamber. The cave extends about 165 feet from the entrance, where a narrow tunnel opens into the Turtle Tomb. The Turtle Tomb is known for containing several turtle skeletons on its sandy floor. Some are fully intact, while others are scattered. A dolphin skeleton has also been found. Scientists believe turtles may enter the cave seeking shelter, but become lost in the darkness, running out of air. Another theory suggests sick turtles deliberately retreat here to die in solitude. Turtle Tomb is only for experienced cave divers. A warning sign at 70 feet deep cautions against entering without proper training. Diving with a local guide is essential, as stirring up the sandy floor can reduce visibility. Sipadan Island is home to many green and hawksbill sea turtles, commonly seen while diving or snorkeling. Turtle Cavern connects to Turtle Tomb through a tunnel. Other top dive sites nearby include Barracuda Point and the Drop-Off. Yonaguni Monument. The Yonaguni Monument, also called the Yonaguni Submarine Ruins, is an underwater rock formation near Yonaguni, the westernmost island of Japan's Ryukyu Islands. It sits about 62 miles, 100 kilometers, east of Taiwan, and has sparked debate about whether it is a natural structure, man-made, or a mix of both. This massive rectangular formation is roughly 490 feet long, 130 feet wide, and 90 feet tall. Its top lies about 16 feet below the ocean's surface. The monument is made of sandstone and mudstone from the lower Miocene Yayama group, believed to be around 20 million years old. The site features what look like step terraces, straight edges, and according to some, carvings on the rocks. Marine geologist Masaaki Kimura believes the monument was carved by humans into step terraces. Supporters of this idea think the structures are at least 5,000 years old and may be linked to a lost civilization like the legendary Mu or Lemuria. If humans shaped it, this would have happened during the last ice age about 10,000 years ago, when Yonaguni was part of a land bridge to Taiwan. On the other hand, some researchers argue the monument is a natural formation shaped by underwater currents. They point out that the rock is one solid piece rather than separate blocks, which would indicate construction. They also believe the so-called carvings are just natural scratches. Another theory suggests the monument is mostly natural but may have been modified by humans. The Yonaguni Monument is a popular dive site. It is close to shore, with depths ranging from 9 to 52 feet. However, strong currents can make diving challenging. Despite its fame, Japan's Agency for Cultural Affairs and the Okinawa prefectural government do not recognize it as a cultural artifact, so no official research or preservation efforts have been made. Jemchug Canyon, located in the Bering Sea between Siberia and Alaska, is the world's deepest underwater canyon. It is named after a Soviet research ship with Jemchug meaning pearl in Russian. The canyon has a staggering vertical drop of 8,530 feet, 2,600 meters, from the shallow Bering Sea shelf down to the depths of the Aleutian Basin, and stretches about 99 miles, 160 kilometers long. To put that into perspective, it is even deeper than the Grand Canyon, which reaches 6,093 feet, 1,857 meters. The canyon has a T-shaped structure with two large branches, both bigger than most continental margin canyons. The canyon's rugged terrain plays a big role in ocean circulation, causing upwellings of nutrient-rich water from the deep ocean. These upwellings are essential for marine life in the area. The canyon also interacts with major ocean currents, including the Bering Slope Current, which moves nutrient-rich water from the Arctic along the continental slope. Thanks to its unique shape and water flow, Jemchug Canyon is home to a wide variety of marine life. Phytoplankton, the foundation of the ocean's food chain, thrive here in large numbers. These phytoplankton sustain large populations of zooplankton, which in turn feed fish species like Aleutian flounder, Bering skate, and Pacific cod. The canyon's deep waters provide shelter and spawning grounds for many species, including deep-sea sharks and cephalopods like the giant Pacific octopus. In a Greenpeace-sponsored expedition, marine ecologist Michelle Ridgway explored the canyon in a small submarine. She reached a depth of 1,757 feet, 536 meters, and discovered an unexpected abundance of sponges, corals, and dense swarms of zooplankton throughout the water column. This challenged the idea that deep-sea environments are barren and lifeless. Some scientists believe that the ancient Yukon River may have helped carve out the canyon during the last ice age, shaping the massive gorge that is now Jemchug Canyon. Loch Ness Monster. The Loch Ness Monster, or Nessie, is a legendary creature said to live in Loch Ness, a deep freshwater lake in the Scottish Highlands. With a history of over 1,500 years, Nessie has become one of Scotland's most famous mysteries, sparking curiosity and debate around the world. Stories of a strange creature in Loch Ness date back to ancient times. The Picts, an early Scottish people, carved images of a beast with flippers, suggesting they were aware of something unusual in the loch. The earliest written account comes from the 7th century, in a biography of Saint Columba. According to the story, in 565 AD, Columba saw a monster in the River Ness attacking a man. He commanded the creature to retreat, and it obeyed. Between the 1500s and 1800s, 21 sightings were recorded, though they were often dismissed as folklore. Some believed Nessie was linked to mythical water creatures called kelpies, supernatural beings said to haunt Scotland's waters. The modern Nessie craze began in the 1930s. In 1933, a couple reported seeing a huge creature with a large body and a long, wavy neck crossing the road and disappearing into the loch. Their story, published in the Inverness Courier, captured national attention and fueled worldwide interest. A year later, the famous surgeon's photograph appeared to show a long-necked creature swimming in the loch. This image became the most iconic proof of Nessie's existence until it was revealed decades later to be a hoax. Despite the exposure of hoaxes, reports of Nessie persist. As of 2024, the official Loch Ness Monster Sightings Register has logged 1,159 sightings, including webcam images. The register is maintained by Gary Campbell, a volunteer who enjoys hearing stories from people around the world. Many theories have been proposed to explain the sightings. Some believe Nessie could be a surviving prehistoric reptile, like a plesiosaur, but no scientific evidence supports this idea. More likely explanations include misidentified animals, such as eels or large fish, unusual wave patterns, or floating debris. Sometimes boat wakes create the illusion of a multi-humped creature moving through the water. Mysterious statue of Jesus. The underwater statue of Jesus Christ, known as Christu tal Bahara, Christ of the Sailors, is located off the coast of Malta. It rests about 1,600 feet, 500 meters, from Cara Point in northeastern Malta, near the sunken wreck of the MV Imperial Eagle. This site is a popular destination for experienced scuba divers. Standing nearly 10 feet, 3 meters tall, the statue was created by Maltese sculptor Alfred Camilleri Cauchy, using concrete coated with fiberglass. Cauchy was commissioned by a group of divers led by Raniero Borg to honor Pope John Paul II's visit to Malta in 1990. The statue is inspired by the famous bronze Christ of the Abyss in San Fruttuoso, Italy, and is one of several similar statues found around the world. However, this particular version is unique because it was personally blessed by Pope John Paul II, making it the only one of its kind to receive his blessing. When it was first placed underwater in 1990, the statue stood near St. Paul's Island. However, due to poor visibility and a drop in diver activity, it was relocated in 2000 to its current site near the Imperial Eagle wreck. Today, the statue rests at a depth of about 115 feet, 35 meters, in a naturally formed rocky amphitheater. With its arms outstretched and face turned toward the surface, the statue appears to welcome divers as they descend. An underwater valley connects it to the bow of the Imperial Eagle, which lies roughly 100 feet 30 meters away. Many divers choose to explore both the statue and the shipwreck in a single dive. In 2015, to mark the statue's 25th anniversary, it was professionally cleaned and reblessed by the Archbishop of Malta, Charles Cicluna. A brass memorial plaque was also affixed to its base as part of the celebration. Mysterious beast from the depths. In May 2017, a massive carcass washed up on Hulung Beach, located on Seram Island in Indonesia, sparking widespread curiosity and speculation about its identity. The enormous 50-foot, 15-meter creature was discovered by a local resident, 37-year-old Asrul Tuana Kota, who initially thought he had spotted a boat in the darkness. The mysterious remains quickly became a global talking point, with many trying to determine what kind of creature it was. Some believed it was a giant squid, as parts of the decaying body appeared to resemble tentacles. However, a spokesperson from Indonesia's Ministry of Marine Affairs and Fisheries, KKP, dismissed this theory, noting that squids typically grow no larger than 16 feet, 5 meters, while whales can reach lengths of 65 to 100 feet, 20 to 30 meters. Marine scientists later confirmed that the carcass belonged to a baleen whale. Alexander Worth, a whale biologist from Hampton-Sydney College in Virginia, identified key features such as throat pleats in the upper jaw, where baleen plates would have been, as clear indicators of the species. The exact cause of death remains unknown. Normally, when whales die, their bodies sink to the ocean floor, providing food for deep-sea creatures. However, Worth proposed two possible explanations for why this whale ended up on shore. One possibility is that internal bacterial infections caused gas buildup, making the carcass float instead of sinking. Another potential cause is a collision with a ship, which may have prevented gases from escaping properly, leading the body to drift ashore. The reddish color in the surrounding water was likely a mix of blood and grease, a natural sign of advanced decomposition. Thanks for watching until the end. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating content. We'd love to hear your thoughts on these mysterious underwater discoveries in the comments. See you next time.